So, hello guys, and welcome to this video. Today I am here to present you the 1-hour herbs. Yes indeed, this is, for me, the last component, I think at least, of the big project I can show in a separate video. So, yeah, I hope some of you guys are interested, and let's get into it. So, this is the design right here. It's pretty small, as you can tell. I'll just send the flying machine in so you can take a look. Dum dum dum. And yeah, so that's how it works. I'm not gonna do that again because it takes a long time. But so as you can see, it's a lot smaller than the verbs. And yeah, by now I should probably mention, if you don't know what a 1-hour herbs is, that's totally normal. Just check. I will link to my video on the 0-hour, 1-hour, and 2-hour verbs down in the description. And this is basically the same as the 1-hour verbs, but just horizontal instead of vertical. It's horizontal, so herbs. Yeah, so I think that explains well enough what it does. Just every time a horizontal engine comes in, it reverses it, sends it back on its way, and then shifts one block depending on the setting of the engine. Now, after showing that, I think it's time to, well, first of all, I actually want to see. Okay, I didn't have my recording software pulled up, so I couldn't see how long I was recording. 1 minute 30. All right. There are two main techniques I use for this, which I didn't use in the verbs, which causes thing to be much smaller than the verbs really. So, first technique, this is bud engine. So the thing I did in the verbs was basically I had basically whenever an engine arrives in here, it will power this piston. I can do this. And this will power not this piston, and this piston will power the engine. In the verbs, these were investment blocks, these were normal blocks. And of course it was like vertical and a bit different, but basically what they did is just update the engine. And the problem was that this has to be, that way, there could only be a short pulse entering this thing, and only after the reversing has been properly done and such, because else it will start causing trouble because it tries to push stuff which can't be pushed yet because it's still extended, like this part for example. So it was a big mess, and I basically also had to make sure that the pulse length was right. That's actually why the 1-hour verbs is a lot larger than the 0-hour and 2-hour, because I had to do something there like that. And all of those issues are kind of fixed simply by realizing, hey, wait a second, if we just reset some blocks this way, we power the engine, so it doesn't actually move yet. Until we release it. Once we release it, we also you just hit text and everything updates, and it just goes one block further, and that's exactly what happens. So let's quickly show that. There's not really much of a good angle, but just try to look in the corner of the screen, I guess. So yeah, as you can see, this retracts, this piston retracts, and this piston pushes, and just everything updates basically. So yeah, that's the first main technique. And I don't think there's any real drawback to this, but I'm just too lazy to redesign the entire verbs. Well, actually it wouldn't have to be the entire verbs, but part of the verbs to do this, because the current one works fine, it's just a bit bigger. But yeah, for this one, this helped a lot to keep it small and easy to build. Now, the second technique I use, which definitely does have a drawback, is what I guess I should call in movement or something. In movement reversing, I guess I should call it. What this basically means is, in the verbs, you would have a block or something right here, a slam block, and once it hits this part, well, I guess maybe over here, I don't know. Once it hits this part, it just stops basically. Okay, actually over here, yeah. When this piston hits that slam block, the engine just has to stop because it is way too much for it to push all this stuff, and it stops. And after the engine has stopped, then this section will come into place, and after that section has come into place entirely, then the piston will get triggered in the herbs or the verbs or whatever, and that would do the triggering of the entire mechanism, and then it will get reversed, get updated again, and get sent back on its way. Well, actually, a good thing about the top verbs is that it didn't need to update because of the way it works, luckily, but that's just because it's the top verbs. With the herbs, I would have to update, so that would make it a lot more complex. Something I tried and miraculously worked out quite well, after messing around for a bit, is in movement reversal, which means there's nothing really stopping it except for, well, this piston at some point. Although, actually, yeah, this piston, if we reverse it, the resting block would be over here, so this spot would be free, so it would stop once the piston is put on this spot, so it's part of the slam block thing, and then we'd try to push that and everything would get stuck. The point is, it never really reaches that point, and I will show you right now how it does work. So, over here we've got two signalizers, you could say. This one, and they correspond with these two pistons, and I'll just quickly try to show what happens. So, yeah, you probably didn't see that too well. I'm also going to reverse the mode so it doesn't get too close and break everything. Also, as you can see, it's a 1 hour verbs, as there's 2 block space on one side, 1 block space on the other side. Oh, it's coming in again, so let's quickly check. So as you can tell, both the signalizers or whatever, they each power one of these components. Each component corresponds with one of the resonant blocks in the engine. So basically, once that resonant block is over here, oh crap, it will move this block, and no, that's just turn off here. So as you can see, these 2 blocks get shifted to the side because of these 2 pistons. And then what happens basically is you have this piston, which has a resonant block next to it, so it gets powered, but this piston, well, actually, basically without this piston I had the issue that, okay, block is over here, but the piston doesn't notice it. So, what do? To fix this issue is simply, well, place the piston there and hope the updating works, and it does. So basically what it just does is, you have a piston right here with something like this, and it does this, and it's like, hey, I actually also have to push, okay, let's push. Oh no, wait, now I actually can detect, okay. Then over here it does something like, oh, I can push now, and push it again, and after a bit of that messing around, it just launches into its normal state and departs. So yeah, it's a bit of a mess, but it works, so I'm happy with it. Anyway, so that's it in action. So 2 techniques. So instead of updating, we power the engine, although it's a bell engine, and instead of stopping the engine entirely and waiting until it stopped, we grab the blocks during movement, and to prevent a bunch of updating we have to do, and do the final updating using a rather simple mechanism. So those are the main ideas behind this VERBS. Again, I first tried to do a design with 1 but it got very problematic quite quickly, and I removed that. And yeah, buts just don't seem to work out in most Slamstone unless they like the purpose of what you're doing. Like for example with the circus I showed last week. Now, anyway, I think I should probably run this video up because I'm starting to ramble for a bit. So if you watched to this point, I guess thanks for watching. Even if you didn't watch to this point, also thanks for watching at least part of it, although you won't be hearing this. Or maybe you watched part of it and then went to here. Who knows? Anyway, whoever you are, thanks for watching. Even if you didn't like the video, please leave a rating, because I like to get some feedback. I'm not saying I necessarily always adapt to feedback, but it's nice to know what people are thinking at least. So yeah, that would be really nice. But with that out of the way, thanks for watching, guys, and I hope I will see you in another video.